Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Corine and I do tarot readings here on YouTube. So for today's pick a card reading, we are asking Spirit for messages from your higher self. So this can be pertaining to anything and we're going to see what wants to come through today. So for today's reading, we have 4 groups for you guys to choose from. Group number 1 here with the card Embracing. Group number 2 with the card Miracles, group number 3 with the card Blessings, and then lastly group number 4 with the card Adventures. So you can pause the video here and meditate on which group you feel most drawn to. It's totally natural to feel drawn to more than one group, so if that is the case then you can check both or 3 or all 4 piles. So once again, as usual, the timestamps is in the description box down below once you're ready. And then let's just jump in and see what messages your higher self has for you. Hello and welcome everyone in group number 1. So you guys chose the card Embracing. And today we are asking Spirit what messages your higher self has for you. So to begin, I have a few tarot cards to just get an overall idea of what this is talking about. So to start with Embracing, this card usually talks about like embracing change and, you know, it's almost like going with the flow a bit. So it could be that you're in a turbulent period in your life and your higher self wants you to keep faith in this difficult period. But I actually first want to get you other cards to get a better idea of what this is talking about. So you guys got the Emperor card number 4, so 4 might be a sign for you. And you also got the 5 of Spring, which is the 5 of Wands. Okay, and then you also got the 4 of Pentacles, so we have double 4s here. That might be a synchronicity for you guys, repeating 4s. And you also have the 5 of Air, which is the 5 of Swords. So again, double 5, so that might also be a sign for you guys. So you have a lot of synchronicities here. Okay, so what's interesting to me is that 4s represent stability, whereas 5s talk about changes. So it definitely seems to me that there's some type of transition that you guys are going through right now. And this is what your higher self wants to talk to you about. Now, with the 4 of Pentacles, it is about control, specifically in a material sense. So I feel like you guys are trying to hold on to some type of situation that might be best for you to let go of. And I definitely get the idea that Spirit wants to make some changes in your life and you might be resisting those changes. You might feel very comfortable in your current situation, even if it's not like the best situation for you, but it's something that you know and you know what to expect. Now, with the Emperor, it says, use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organized, a firm but compassionate leader. So this could be talking about some type of work situation where someone is your boss and you don't really like working in the situation. It could even be that you are being micromanaged by this person. Now, it's interesting that the 5 of Wands, it says opposing goals arising from differing opinions, feeling at odds with yourself or others, overly ambitious people. So I definitely think this has to do with some type of work situation where you are working with different people and specifically with a difficult boss, because I think these opposing goals is talking about your views compared to your boss's views. Now, this doesn't have to be specifically in the workplace. It could even be if you are like a student and you have an advisor or something like that, or the lecturer or someone, or you are working in a group project and there are other students that you have to work with. So it's just like some type of conflict in a situation where you are working with others. Now, with overly ambitious people, I definitely get the idea that these people want to control the whole situation, and this is what is causing some conflict here. You know, but both the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords talks about arguments. Now, what's interesting is we have this white bird here and then these white, I think this is doves, on this 5 of Swords cards, which is about peace actually. So I feel like your higher self is trying to almost support you through this period and show you how sometimes you're going to have to be in these periods of conflict, and it's best to let some people have some control sometimes, because ultimately it's for the greater good, if I can say it like that, because it would cause more conflict if you try to take over control, even if you feel like your way might be better. Now obviously this doesn't mean you shouldn't stand your ground, but I think your higher self is advising you to not try to enforce your opinions onto the other people as they do to you, because then you're already just like doing the exact same thing. Now it could be that you are like the odd one out here, because it says feeling at odds with yourself or others, so maybe you are the only one that is almost against whatever view this group has. And obviously this is a very difficult position to be in, and that's also why your higher self is saying you have to embrace the situation, because it is a temporary period, and that's why we have these 4s moving into the 5s, which is about a transition. So this really is something temporary, and I feel like this is also a bit of a test to see whether you can push through this difficult period, because often once we move through a situation like this, then we are rewarded. So obviously your higher self is seeing the bigger picture here, and you're only looking at this one situation where you are getting all this pushback from the people. Now I do think your higher self is also urging you to actually have like an honest conversation with these people, not like being angry or anything like that, just stating your views in a calm and gentle manner, because it could be that they really just don't have all of the information to see your point of view. So that this might just relate to a few of you guys, but if you can sit down with these people, or your boss or co-workers or whoever, and just talk to them about how you're currently feeling, I think that is something that you're advised to do. Now I want to move over into the other tarot decks. So from the Harmony Denise tarot, you got the Queen of Winter, which is the Queen of Pentacles. You got the Cliff, and this is the Death card actually. So once again about transition. You got the Ace of Autumn, which is the Ace of Swords, and you got the Dawn card. This is, I can't remember which card it is, but I know what it is about. Okay, so I actually want to begin this side with the Ace of Swords, which is the Ace of Autumn. So this is really about clarity and truth. So as I said, I think there needs to be an honest conversation, because I don't think either party is really seeing the whole picture here, and so you are coming at each other with only parts of the information, and that's why it is causing all of this friction as well. Now with the Dawn, it's about like making decisions and organizing your life. It can talk about confusion as well, not knowing which path to take, and I think your higher self will also be providing you with some clarity here. So you might be feeling very on edge, because you, as I said, you don't have all of the information at this moment, and that's why you can't actually make a decision. So it can even be that you are thinking about removing yourself out of the situation, whichever it is. Now this could be something that you should be doing for some of you guys, but for others, with this Embracing card, you just have to push through, and this will depend on your situation. So that's what your higher self will be assisting you with, this clarity that you need. Your higher self will provide that for you, and especially with like synchronicities, because we see that a lot in your group. So you guys should really be watching out for signs, anything that pops up, like if you're reading a book and a specific paragraph stands out to you. I think you should really look at things like that and notice all of these signs that the universe is giving you, because that will help guide you. And you know, with this Dawn card, we have a fly trap here, and then there's like scissors and a little it's like needlework or whatever, a piece of thread, sorry. So it's really about deciding where to cut away people and situations. And with the fly trap, I almost get the idea that you will be eaten alive if you don't choose to do that. So it's almost like in the wild where there's like predators. So I feel like you're almost on the hunt, and you also feel like people are hunting you. So definitely your higher self wants to tell you that you have to, it's almost like making a list of pros and cons, really looking at the facts and making your decision based off of that. Because I do get the sense that you guys are quite confused at the moment in terms of what you have to do to move forward. Now with the cliff, which as I mentioned is the death card, it's really about changes and ending situations, but it can also talk about rebirths. So as I said, this scenario will be different for all of you, so it could just be changing the dynamic, or it can be completely removing yourself from a situation. And once again, I do think this is talking about career or workplace or studies, because we have the Queen of Winter, which is the Queen of Pentacles, so relating to the material world. And I think part of the reason why you guys are struggling is because the Queen of Pentacles is she's like a stable figure and she has a lot to offer. So it could be that you are feeling underappreciated, or with these opposing views you feel like people aren't taking you into account and aren't seeing what you have to offer and what you have to bring to the table. So really just a sense of being overlooked. And once again, I think some of this could be unconscious on the other party's side. So maybe they just don't realize that they aren't praising you for your efforts or taking your views into consideration, and that's why a conversation is necessary. Now with the cliff, what's interesting to me is that we have a clock here, so it's almost like the clock is ticking, time is running out. So I think this decision that you have to make is really something that has to be done swiftly, and that's why your higher self is urging you to really look at all of the details and things, and as I said, make like a list. So you could even like write down questions that you have for the people that you're working with or your boss, and just have like ammunition, be prepared, because if you just walk in there, like barge in, you might create more chaos for them and for yourself, and then nobody will be happy and then they might even cause an ending for you that you don't want. So that is what I see in this part. Now from the Britt's third eye tarot, you guys got the Six of Wands. Where should I put this? I'm just gonna move these on a bit. Okay, Six of Wands, you have the Ace of Swords again, so this is quite important. You have the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. So lots of sixes here. So now we have 4, 5 and 6. So definitely the idea of movement, and once again these synchronicities here in your group. So definitely watch out for signs. Now with the Six of Wands, this is really about winning and being in the spotlight. So I definitely get the idea that you guys want recognition and you want to be like winners. And with this Ace of Swords next to the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles talks about equal give and take. So this clarity is really relating to like the dynamic, as I said. So maybe seeing where you are overextending yourself or where you are not putting in enough effort. So it could be that you are overall putting in too much effort, but you're not putting in enough effort at the places where it really matters. So maybe the reason why you feel you're being overlooked is also because you're not actually doing a job which really showcases your talents. For example, maybe you're in an admin job and you feel like you have great ideas to share, but nobody really listens to your ideas. But that's because you have to like actually have a conversation with your boss and tell them like, listen, I have all of these ideas. Don't you have a different position for me where I can contribute by sharing these ideas with the other workers? Because while you're in this admin position, people won't actually take you seriously because you're only like doing data or secretary work or anything like that. So they don't see you as someone that contributes in a creative way. Whereas if your boss would give you a different position, then people will actually take your views into account. So that's like the type of conversations that you guys have to have. And the clarity could, of course, also be talking about where others aren't providing you with enough support, and that's also something that you have to express. So if you are feeling like some of the people that work beneath you or above you don't provide you with enough help, then that's what you should be telling these people as well. So if I can use the student example, if you have an advisor and you have like a set schedule when you have to hand in certain parts of your research, and your advisor is not keeping to the dates, so you are like handing it in on time, but they are taking months to give you commentary, then you can actually go to like different people in the department and tell them like, listen, this is what's happening. I can't actually focus on my research like I want to because my advisor isn't doing their part. So any type of conversation and that line is what you guys need to be having. Now, with the Six of Swords, this also talks about moving on. So the idea of transition is really very prominent in your reading. And I do think if it's like the student example, that would be a case where you have to push through and really like just embrace the difficulties that comes along with something like research. Because calmer waters is something that you will move into once you maybe like hand in your dissertation or thesis or whatever. But if this is talking about a career and you have this conversation and you feel like you're still not being recognized, then your higher self is urging you to seek out other options. We see all of these broken swords behind this girl, and she's climbing the stairs towards like a long-term future with this infinity sign. So once again, the idea of weighing up all of your options and deciding which route to take in your scenario. So I feel like normally in tarot readings we say like trust your intuition, but for you guys it's coming through quite strongly that you have to look at the cold hard facts and not just stick with something because it felt right at the time. You know, our ideas of our future change. Maybe you thought you wanted to do this type of postgraduate study and now you're realizing that it's really just not for you, your heart is not in it or whatever. And that's not something to be ashamed of course. People change. So this is really just looking at things objectively. So your higher self is really urging you to make the cuts with this Dawn card and to move into a different situation in your life. So I'm going to end your reading with 2 last guidance cards. So for that, you guys got the card Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? So this really speaks to me about this 5 of Wands energy, where you might be caught in conflicts with people due to opposing views, but it could be that in reality you are projecting some of your own fears or confusion, and you might be feeling unhappy in your situations and now you want to blame the people in your surroundings. So this Ace of Swords energy is also talking about clarity that you have to have with yourself. So you have to be honest with yourself and say like, where am I lacking and where are they lacking, and where can we meet in the middle? And if you cannot do that, then you have to remove yourself from this situation, because you can't keep on complaining and not actually like make a difference in your life. So that's what I'm getting from this Mirror card, from your higher self. And you also got the card Protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So interesting that we have cut the cords with this Dawn card and the Scissors. So it could be that this is a, like I said, like a student advisor idea. It's some type of partnership or relationship where you almost feel bound. So it could be like some type of contract even. And that's why it's also so difficult for you guys to change your situation and the dynamic, because it's something that's long-standing or like very formal. I'm getting like Hierophant vibes. So it's definitely difficult for you guys. So I sympathize. Your higher self is really saying like you shouldn't be too hard on yourself, but also you have to make this decision, because ultimately you have to do what's in your best interest. And it says call back your power, so I definitely get the idea that you guys have been feeling like lackluster in your life, because this idea of confusion is really, it's almost making you frazzled, and you feel scattered all over the place. So I definitely get the idea that you're not like standing in your power at the moment, and once you make this choice you will feel a lot more calm and a lot more at ease with yourself. So I'm gonna end your reading there. I really hope it resonated with you guys. If it did, you can let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, if you want to, you can give this video a like and subscribe to my channel to be updated when I post new videos. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next video. Bye! Hello and welcome everyone in group number 2. So you guys chose the card Miracles, and today we are asking Spirit for any messages from your higher self. So to begin, I have this card and then a few more tarot cards to get a general overview of what your higher self wants to tell you. So to start, miracles is obviously a very positive thing. So it could be that there are some miracles on the way for you guys, and we have rainbows on here. It's actually like a double rainbow, so maybe that is a sign for you guys. If you see rainbows, this could be talking about these miracles coming your way. And I also think about like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, so it could be talking about some type of financial gain, but not necessarily. It can talk about any type of miracle, even like health or something like that. Maybe you have been struggling. That's random. It could be specific for some of you guys. Okay, so to begin, I'm just going to lay out your other main tarot cards. So you guys got the Two of Summer, which is the Two of Cups. So it could be talking about a relationship. And you also have the Princess of Winter, which is the Page of Swords. We have the Four of Water, which is the Four of Cups. And we have the Five of Fire, which is the Five of Wands. Yes, okay, sorry, that was like a moment where my brain didn't want to function. Okay, so, you know what? I'm definitely getting the idea that this is talking about some type of soulmate relationship. So it could be a friend, but I do get the idea that it could also be romantic. So this was someone that chose to turn their back on you in the past. You could also have walked away, but for most of you, I get the idea that it was this person that turned their back on you. So this miracle could be talking about them coming in with communication, because we have the Page of Swords here, which is all about messages. And it says information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness, an indigo child or adult. So I feel like there was a lot left unsaid between the both of you, and it's almost like everything was up in the air, and there wasn't like anything grounded, because it says with the Two of Summer, falling in love or making a serious commitment to someone, forgiveness and the resolution of a problem. Don't give up, your relationship can be healed. So interesting that it says your relationship can be healed, and I mentioned the idea of health. So for some, like a select few of you guys, it could be that one or both of you had some health problems that you first wanted to focus on before you could actually commit to someone. Because often people feel like they don't want to burden the other person. Now, it doesn't have to be health specifically. It's just like some type of issue that the person wanted to focus on, just like their general healing. And And it could be that they felt like they would be projecting onto you and causing you a lot of stress if they were to pursue something. And that's part of the reason why they might have chosen to let you walk away or walked away themselves. And this could have caused some arguments or just like emotional turbulence with this Five of Wands. What I find interesting is like we have a lot of fairies. Like fairy, and then a mermaid. So this really links in with the idea of miracles for me. And what's interesting is that this card says don't give up. So this could be a long-standing separation and you've been feeling like you're never going to be hearing from this person again or never seeing them again, that all hope is lost, something like that. And that's why we have the miracle card, because I think this is something that's going to be coming in unexpected, and your higher self wants to give you like a little heads up to keep your faith, because right now is also when your faith is being tested, because often it's like just when you want to give up, then suddenly like this random message comes and this person is like, hey, I've been thinking about you, and I think they are really going to be coming clean about why maybe they chose to like ghost you or something like that, and also opening up about some of the struggles that they had and that, as I mentioned, they didn't want to burden you with. And you know, the expression of like you strike gold, so as I mentioned with the pot of gold, it's almost like they felt that way when they met you, and that could also be why you were so confused when they like retracted their energy. But I think what your higher self is really wanting to focus on is the fact that it wasn't actually something that you did. It's really about some type of healing journey that this person was on. And it could even be that they had some karmic contracts or something like that that they had to work through before they could come into union with you. And they are finishing off this cycle now. And you know, we do have the 5 here, which is about change, and I definitely get the idea that there's like this new phase coming into your life. So I want to move on to the next decks, or next deck. So this is from the Harmony Niece Tarot. You guys got the Lovers card, shocker. You got the 5 of Winter. This is the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting. It's becoming even more clear. You also got the 9 of Autumn, which is the 9 of Swords, and you got the 8 of Swords. Okay. So definitely with the Lovers here, this is all about union and making decisions, and I find it interesting that both of them are like covering their faces. It almost feels like both of you are almost embarrassed now. It could be such a long separation that you are feeling a bit awkward about communicating with this person again, especially since things were like left up in the air. So it's kind of like that whole talk about like what are we, because nobody actually knows. So there's definitely a conversation to be had, and a choice to be made. And I think this person is making this choice, and that's why your higher self actually wants to like give you a little bit of a warning to prepare for this conversation. Because with this 5 of Pentacles, this is really about feeling left out in the cold, and it often talks about a period of awakening as well. So I think this healing could be pertaining to this person also going through some type of awakening, and maybe even like awakening to the truth of this connection with you. And they first had to go through a lot of healing before they could make the decision to come back towards you. Oh, and this is Gemini energy, by the way, that could relate to your situation. Now, the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords together, you know, it's about, it's really feeling restricted. But with the 8 of Swords, your person was definitely keeping themselves like in a bubble and choosing not to communicate with you. And once again, your higher self is really expressing the idea that it wasn't due to you. They actually had to focus on themselves and work through some of their issues. And even though they were forcing themselves not to communicate, they were in this like Nine of Swords energy, which is about anxiety, and it's almost like a depression. So it was very difficult for them, but I feel like they felt that was the best option for them, because they would be hurting you if they didn't pull back their energy to focus on their own healing. Okay, so from the next deck, you guys got the Eight of Cups. This is from the Britt Third Eye Tarot. You got the Eight of Wands, so double eights here, that could be a sign for you guys. You got the Page of Swords again, so definitely communication. And you got the Nine of Swords, interesting. This person definitely still feels very on edge. They are quite anxious about communicating with you. There's a very big intent on communication, especially with the Eight of Wands here, along with the Page of Swords. So it's like very fiery and swift communication. And with the Eight of Cups, it's usually about, it's almost like a loss, but I think this person really felt the loss of your presence while they were working on themselves, and they realized that it's like a hole that cannot be filled by something else in their life. So part of this healing could be using substances or something like that. So it could be that they try to fill a void by maybe doing a lot of drugs, or anything really that just distracts them. So it can even be like overworking, or going to the gym a lot, or eating too much, eating too little, anything like that. Maybe socializing a lot, or self-isolation, reading a lot, anything. But they are really realizing that in reality they were just trying to numb the pain, numb this Nine of Swords energy. You see this girl is really like struggling here, and I feel like your person was often in this mode where they were feeling such regret over some of the choices that they made, and I do think this separation really also gave them time to gain clarity, and to almost like examine the way that they have been approaching relationships all of their life. And you know, this girl is sitting like with her hands in her hair, so it's frustration, it's really feeling despondent. So definitely, if you were thinking that this person wasn't sad about separation, you are quite wrong. And it could even be that sometimes you almost sensed their sadness. Often soulmates share like a telepathic connection as well. So it could be that you were like having a great day, and then suddenly just this wave of sadness hits you. And it could be that this was feelings that your person was feeling. Now, once again, the idea of communication is highlighted. So I think you guys could be expecting communication quite soon from this person. And this person, this girl Anya, she's very excited. So I think this is pertaining to your energy once you receive this communication. And I do get the idea that it will be quite substantial. So this person would really want to come clean about why they made certain choices, and why they also left you out in the cold. Now, I want to end your reading with just 2 guidance cards. So you guys got the card The Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. And you also got Deep Replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. So I definitely think you guys have also been feeling a bit tired out by this whole situation, and that's why we have this card Deep Replenishment. I think once again, your higher self is giving you a heads up to prepare for this conversation. So if you're feeling worn out, I think it's time for you to just take some time for yourself and recuperate, sleep a bit more if you can, or just spend some extra time on self-care, and just prepare yourself like emotionally for this conversation, and look at what you would want to ask this person and what you would like to respond if they have certain questions for you, and really decide what you want out of this relationship as well. Because if this is like a first start, then you have to be clear about what your expectations are and about how you would not want to go through a similar like scenario in the future. So definitely being open about what you desire from a union. And with the great gathering, it's all coming together, intuitive heads, soul tribe. As I said, this is soulmates, so you're like part of a group, but with it's all coming together, as I said, this could be quite swift movement. So I think this is really something that will be happening quite soon. It could be that you've been waiting for quite a long time, and that's also this idea of the miracle. So very out of the blue and sudden and unexpected, this will come towards you. And I do get a sense of mystery around this, like how exactly it will happen. We get the idea of communication, but it could even be like a serendipitous meeting with this person where you have a conversation. Because the reason I'm saying that is because these people are all turned away. You don't see their faces, and with this Lovers card as well, you don't see their faces. So it's almost like you will be seeing a ghost. These figures make me think of a ghost. So you will be so shocked when you suddenly communicate with this person again. And I also get the idea of taking masks off. So definitely a lot is going to be revealed in this conversation from both sides. And I do think you will also be quite tired after having this conversation, because it's something that both of you have been holding on to so long, and this retreat might be something that you need after that. But it could also be that you almost find like an inner peace once you speak your truth, because it's been such a burden carrying it along with you. Okay, group number 2, I'm going to leave your reading there. I really hope it resonated. Sorry, I was really twisting my tongue today. I can't pronounce my words, but I hope you still got some clarity. If you want to, you can give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, and you will be updated when I post new videos. And then I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next video soon. Bye! Hello and welcome everyone in group number 3. So you guys chose the card Blessings. And today we are asking Spirit for messages from your higher self. And we're going to see what wants to come through today. To begin with, this is just an oracle card to give us a general idea of what messages your higher self has for you. And I also have like a few main tarot cards just to link with that. So I'm just going to put this here for now. But obviously, Blessings is quite a positive card to start with. And I think your higher self wants to give you a little bit more information about what blessings are coming your way. So to begin, you guys got the card King of Summer. This is the King of Cups. You also got the 8 of Spring, which is the 8 of Wands. You have the Call card. This is the Judgment card. Have like Capricorn energy. And you have the 7 of Water, which is, the 7 of Cups. Okay. I think this could be quite a few blessings coming your way, because the 7 of Water, okay, it can talk about confusion, but in your case, I think you guys are almost going to be confused by how many blessings are coming towards you, because it's also about different choices. This girl has like a bunch of fishes and shells here above her, so you can really pick and choose anything. And it's quite like we have like vibrant colors on this Blessings card as well. Now, with the 8 of Wands, it says stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. And the King of Summer or King of Cups says, a romantic partner you can trust, excellent advice that comes from the heart, getting involved in a culture or creative endeavor. Okay. You know what I'm really seeing here is, with this call card, it's like answering the call. So I think there are a lot of opportunities that is coming your way, and you guys are going to be feeling very overwhelmed when it does. So what your higher self wants to do in today's reading is to prepare you for this, because it's something that is coming in quickly and you are really not going to be sure what to do. And what your higher self is telling you today is to actually answer this call and really grasp all of these opportunities, because there's a lot of blessings that lie ahead for you once you do. And for a lot of you, this could be talking about a creative endeavor, like some type of creative project, or just something that like your heart has been telling you to do. And it's definitely going to be a bit not like a burden, but it's going to be a bit stressful. And that's why your higher self wants to give you a heads up and tell you to be prepared for this, and that you can actually do this, because I think you guys are going to be doubting in your own talents and your own abilities once these opportunities come along. And I really get the idea that you're going to be able to pick and choose, and I think you're going to choose more than one thing, because we have successful multitasking here on this card. So you might be juggling quite a few things for a bit of time, and I think your higher self wants to tell you that you're going to have to push through this period where you're going to be quite busy, because you will be rewarded quite a lot for all the hard work that you will be putting in the next few months. Now, this could pertain to a romantic interest as well, so that could be part of the deal, part of these blessings. So one scenario that I'm also getting is that maybe you get like a new career opportunity, and you are also interested in someone at the same time, and you feel like you would have to pass on one of these if you were to pursue all of your dreams, or one dream. But I think what your higher self is trying to tell you is that you don't have to let one of these go, so you can have like your dream career and your dream partner. And it's going to take a bit of work and some multitasking, but you can actually do this. So this could just talk about finding ways to incorporate both into your life. So maybe having a set schedule for your work, like time periods in your day when you do certain tasks, and then you also have like a schedule for when you communicate with your partner. So maybe you call them every evening, or you have like a video call twice a week if you aren't living close to them, or having like date night twice a week, or whatever you can fit into your schedule. So your higher self is really telling you not to pass on any opportunities just because you think you cannot handle it, because you do have the abilities. Obviously, don't overextend yourself, but just realize that you can be living up to your fullest potential. Now, I want to move on to the next deck. So this is from the Harmony Niece Tarot. You guys got the 3 of Summer. This is the 3 of Wands. I always struggle to remember what it is. You guys got the Mirror. This is the Devil card. You also got the Divine, and you got the Crow. This is also the Judgment card. Yes, interesting. And you know, he's holding like a compass here. I'm thinking of like a moral compass, but also like the idea of a map, so a journey and where you are moving towards, especially with the 3 of Wands, which is really about growth and exploration. So I think your higher self is really urging you to explore all of your options, and to not let your own thoughts or fears hold you back. And that's why we also have the mirror card. So taking a look at yourself and realizing where you're holding yourself back. And you see this mirror is almost like cracked. So, or it is cracked. So it's like you have a skewed perception of yourself and what you can achieve. And it's almost like you're only looking at fragments of yourself and not seeing the whole picture. And that's why your higher self wants to come through and tell you that, like, when these opportunities come your way, don't let it pass you by just because you feel like you won't be able to step up to the plate, you know. Because I feel like this is something that you might have done in the past, where you let opportunities slip by you because you felt like you weren't good enough. And with the crow, it's really like with the judgment. I get the idea that you were judging yourself too harshly. And now it's time for you to really step into your power and realize your worth, and to actually take all of the blessings that life has to offer for you. Because I think you guys have been almost like lurking in the shadows, not wanting to stick out too much, you know. You do your job, but you're almost afraid of success. And with the divine, this is really about letting the universe guide you as well. So you will be feeling a bit overwhelmed, as we mentioned, once you actually choose to jump in and maybe take the reins or take hold of all of these opportunities. But the divine will always be there to catch you, and you can just put out some time for meditation to calm your mind and to ground yourself again. And I think taking walks in nature might be very beneficial for you guys. We have like this tree here as well, and trees, they communicate with each other. So I feel like you should also get like a support network that you can rely on in times of difficulty, and this could include this romantic partner, but also just like trusting your intuition, because the trees, they actually talk like underground. It's like signals and stuff. So having like this communication with the universe as well, and asking for guidance when you need it. And I think of like taking root as well. It's almost like planting the seeds, and then this will grow into something much bigger. So just starting to see your own worth, and then you will see how you blossom as well, linking with these flowers on this card. And interesting, I just noticed we have the crow and then we have this bird on here as well. So along with the call card, answering the call once again. So birds, they also have like a mating call, right? I definitely get the idea that a romantic partner is part of this deal, but just almost singing your song. You know, each bird has like a different song, or I don't know what that's called in English, but just like the way they chirp is unique to each type of bird, and they change it depending on who they talk to or what bird they talk to. It's interesting. But anyway, so it's definitely about answering your heart's call and singing like your own tune. It's almost like tuning your life, if I can say it like that. If you think about frequencies on a radio, it's like you have to just like shift it a little bit to get to the right frequency, and then you will see how you blossom and get all of these blessings coming your way, because you know, then the radio is like clear and you can hear everything perfectly, and it just falls into place. So that's like the idea that I get for you guys. Now from the Britt's Third Eye Tarot, you guys got the Judgment card again. This is so significant. You also got the 10 of Swords, you got the King of Swords, and the 5 of Swords. Interesting, we have a lot of thinking energy here, a lot of air energy. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, so definitely there's going to be some anxiety here. We have a lot of eyes on here, so intuition is going to be heightened for you, and that's why I said here you have to almost have this conversation with the universe to guide you, because there is going to be some difficult periods and intense feelings of anxiety at sometimes. And with the King of Swords, I think you will be like almost re-evaluating your decisions sometimes and thinking like, what am I doing? Is this even the right choice for me? And almost like having internal conflict with yourself. But with this Judgment card, you know, this person's eyes are closed and then the third eye is open. So I think you almost have to shut out the normal world and all of your fears and really rely on your connection with spirit to guide you, because your fears are really trying to trick you and to keep you from these blessings. And once again, this idea of judging yourself too harshly, I really think you guys aren't seeing your own potential. And with the Ten of Swords, tens can talk about ending of cycles. So that's why we have your higher self coming through and nudging you to end off thinking about yourself in this limiting way, because you are really the only one that's holding yourself back. And I definitely get the idea that you guys are often stuck in your head, and it's almost like you contemplate and contemplate and contemplate, but then you don't go into action, because you keep on thinking about all of the bad things that can happen. But it's time for you to think of all of the good things that can come out of the situation. And just once again, the idea of thinking energy and making like a schedule to fit everything in. I definitely think this will be very beneficial for you guys. So to end your reading, I just want to get 2 cards of guidance. So you guys got the card Warrior Woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? Once again, so many synchronicities. Calling. You guys have to answer this call. Your higher self is really nudging you to go for all of these opportunities that will be coming your way. Now we also have the card Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. So this really looks like this blessing card for me. I think your higher self is already like building your perfect life on here. You just have to tune into that and start living out your fullest potential. And I heard from this one girl, she said you should give your like ideal self a different name and then almost embody that different person. So think of what type of personality you would have. How would you go about your day? How would you dress? How would you talk? Everything, like every last detail of the ideal person that you would like to be. And then think of yourself as that person and start walking around as that person and doing your daily life as that person. And then you will just see how everything starts falling into place, and you are really going to be receiving a lot of blessings once you almost step into the energy of your higher self. I think that's what they are really trying to tell you. Like, you already have everything inside of you. It's just time for you to answer this call. And I definitely think you guys have been suppressing it for a very long time, and it's long overdue. So this is just like a big nudge from a higher self to actually go for all of your goals and all of these opportunities that will come your way. And you don't have to be afraid of confusion, because the universe is there for you. And obviously there's always going to be ups and downs, but it's about how you approach those ups and downs, because life really is like what you make of it. It sounds so cliche, but it's true. And you will see how you judging yourself was really causing you a lot of pain that was ungrounded and unneeded and just not necessary. So group number 3, that is what I see for you guys. That is the message that the higher self has for you. I really hope it resonated. If it did, you can let me know in the comments down below. And then if you want to, you can give this video a like and subscribe to my channel to support me. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video soon. Bye. Hello all my lovely people in group number 4. So you guys chose the card Adventures, and today we are asking Spirit what messages your higher self has for you. So to start, I have like this one oracle card and then a few tarot cards to give us a general overview of what messages your higher self has for you. So with the Adventures card, I think there is some maybe like travel or something that is in the cards for you guys. I get actually quite strong Sagittarius energy with this. I don't know if that is applicable for any of you guys, but maybe it will resonate. So I actually want to start with the tarot cards as well, just so we can get a better idea. So you guys got the High Priestess, card number 2. 2 might be a sign for you. You also got the card Balance. This is Temperance, and that is actually Sagittarius energy. We have the Ace of Air. This is the Ace of Swords. And we have the Star card. This is card number 17, and it is Aquarius energy. That also might be applicable for you guys. Okay. Alright. So, let me first read for you guys. So the High Priestess card says, trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking action, insights that come through meditation. And the Balance card says, take everyone's input into consideration, merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Take your time, there's no need to rush. So you guys are definitely going to be receiving clarity on some type of adventure, and I think this is a wish for you guys. So this is something that you have been dreaming about, and it might be that you are almost losing patience because you might have been planning for so many months or even years that you feel like it's just staying out of reach, and you just won't ever get there. And I do think there is some information that you're missing. It could be that if it's like travel, you first have to have an itinerary where you really plan out all of the places that you want to see and where you will stay and all of that. So it also says about taking other people's viewpoints into consideration. So I think what your higher self is telling you is you shouldn't be rushing into this situation, because you will enjoy it so much more if you actually have enough information beforehand. So like I said, planning where to stay, where to eat, anything like that, maybe making a list of things you want to see or do or experience, and it will just make it so much more enjoyable. Because if you just jump in, then your wish won't actually come true. It will be a disappointment because it won't live up to the ideals that you had for this. And this is part of the Ace of Swords energy, this clarity energy that your higher self wants to give you. And with the High Priestess, it also says trusting your intuition. So if you are feeling a bit uneasy about some of the options, I'm going to use a travel example again. So let's say there are 2 flights, and the one is just like a little bit cheaper, but it's from a strange airline, and you don't feel quite at ease choosing that option. Then I think your higher self is telling you, go for the bit pricier option just to play safe, because maybe you choose the one that's a bit cheaper and then you have to go on a reroute, whatever, or you lose your bags, or somebody steals your cell phone, I don't know. But any scenario like that where you feel uneasy about certain choices, I think your higher self is trying to tell you that you should be trusting your gut. And also there, don't rush in. Really look at all of the information, because adventures, when we hear the word, it's like, oh yay, it's exciting, but it's not so exciting when it's like a bad adventure, when you get lost or like I said, you lose your bags. So to ensure that you stay in this wish energy where it's something that's like a dream come true, you have to have all of the information and you have to study everything. And That's coming through very strongly. So from the Harmony Niece Tarot, you guys got the Queen of Autumn. This is the Queen of Swords. You got Le Soleil. This is the Sun card. So Leo energy. You also got the Lupin. And you got the Six of Summer, which is the Six of Wands. Yes. Okay. So these adventures that is lying ahead for you is definitely like something that will bring you a lot of happiness. But along with the Queen of Swords, which once again is about discernment, so being smart, making smart choices. And I think the main thing that I'm seeing is that your higher self is urging you to look at everything objectively, take your time before you make a decision, because that will ensure that you enjoy it so much more. And with the Lupin, it's also about like confusion sometimes and decision making. So it's really urging you to make smart moves. I do think you could be losing quite a lot of money or like material possessions if you don't think through all of your choices and just rush in. And with the Six of Wands, I do get the sense that you will be quite like, it's almost like you're going to be at a battle if you don't have all of the facts and you don't actually look at this situation with clarity. And you know, with the Adventures card, I also get the idea of like taking flight. So the idea of traveling is coming through quite strongly for you. So I do think you should be spending a lot of time on sorting out the details. This isn't something where you can just sit back and let it flow. You do have to make some plans to ensure that you aren't caught in a tricky situation where you maybe have to fight people on an airline or something like that if something bad happens. Now you guys also got the High Priestess again. You got the Star card again. You got the King of Pentacles, and you got the Seven of Wands. I'm just gonna move these a bit. So obviously, like the Star card and the High Priestess card is quite significant for you. Now, it's interesting that we have the King of Pentacles here. So as I said, I think you could be losing a lot in terms of the material world if you aren't being discerning and if you aren't taking all of the information seriously. Now with the Seven of Wands, it can also talk about like a battle. So this idea of almost having to fight if you don't choose to do this. And once again, with the High Priestess, really trusting your intuition. So if something feels off, then you really shouldn't be doing that. Another example is like if you go to a restaurant and you think like, oh, I'm going to be adventurous, I'm going to order the strangest meal on the menu. And then it comes and it smells horrible and you're like, okay, what have I gotten myself into? Like, don't try to be like this brave person. Just say no, you made a mistake, you're not going to eat it, because maybe you do and then you get food poisoning and you spend like a week in a hospital in a strange country, and obviously then you won't be in this sun energy enjoying yourself and being happy. And once again with the Star, this is definitely like a big wish for you guys, whatever lies ahead. So don't be the one to shoot yourself in the foot and to keep yourself from enjoying the experience. And I think also with the Seven of Wands, if there are other people that will be coming along with you on this adventure, then it will also cause a rift between you guys if these bad things were to happen and they realize that maybe you did have other information that you didn't take into consideration. So your higher self is really just trying to ensure that you don't cause unnecessary problems for yourself and for others. especially in the material sense, because things can get quite expensive if you make bad decisions, especially in a different country. This obviously doesn't have to talk about travel. It's just like the main idea that's coming through. As could it be any type of adventure, like shark cage diving, or I don't know if people even do that anymore. Like skydiving, paintball, anything. There's like those rage rooms, or some type of adventure hunt thing. So anything like that, just something like thrilling or exciting, that's a bit out of your usual routine. And because it's something that you don't generally do, that's why you have to take all of the information and look at things objectively, because I don't think this is an area of expertise for you guys, and you might feel overconfident, especially with this Leo energy. Sometimes I get that with Leo. So don't be stupid. Like, people will definitely look up to you more if you can own up to making a mistake and say like, oh no, I actually planned this out because I don't want us being in a tricky situation. So yeah, just like don't try to be the hero. That's really what is coming through. And I do think it will be a very enjoyable experience, and it will really be like this. I'm getting like Jumanji, the movie. So that's really the energy that's in your reading. The idea of being calculating and working together. So it could even be your higher self giving you a heads up that there might be some unintended difficulties as well that you didn't plan for, and you'll have to work together with some of the people. Because especially with the Seven of Wands, it's almost like two people working together. And I really think with this balance card as well, it says take everyone's input into consideration. So if other people want to assist you and they seem like they would be more knowledgeable in a certain area, then you really should be taking their help. And don't try to do this on your own. Like, no man is an island. Often you're really going to be causing a lot more trouble for yourself if you don't want to take support from people. So once again, the travel example, if there are people that have already traveled to the country that you want to go to, then ask them for advice, and ask them to maybe show you where they went and how their experience was and anything like that. And like check up reviews online, and just talk to a lot of different people, because often people that have first-hand experience can give you a lot more valuable information than like an internet website, because people lie online a lot, especially like hotels and stuff. They use like wide angle lenses to take pictures of rooms, so it looks amazing when you look at it on the website, and then you get there and it's like this little box, and you can't even like turn around before knocking a vase off of a table or something like that. So definitely just the idea of gathering as much information as possible to ensure the best experience for you and everyone else involved. And that's why you should be temperate, have patience, don't just rush in. And when we are excited, we often do want to rush in and just like be in that happy energy, but you will be a lot happier if you choose to take a bit more time and just prepare better and trust your intuition, but also look at things objectively, because we are still living in a 3D world, and you still have to watch out for shady people and shady businesses. I'm also thinking of like internet scams. I recently wrote like a radio drama for a competition where this guy was scammed out of a lot of money because he booked something online and the place didn't exist anymore. So I definitely think this is talking about patience in general, and just like yeah, I said this, but just don't be stupid, because you guys want to have a nice experience and your higher self wants you to have a nice experience. So you don't want to be like a bull in a china shop just rushing in. Okay. So that is what your higher self wants to tell you. It's not me, guys. Sorry, I'm just like giving you the message. But I hope you guys have a nice trip, whatever this adventure is, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you plan enough. Please plan. Please. Okay. So group number 4, that is what I see for you guys. I hope it resonated. If it did, you can let me know. You can let me know if you have any travel plans. And yeah, I'd just love to hear your stories. And then if you want to support me, you can give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video soon. Bye.